Paul McCartney and John Lennon didn't hide their anger following the end of the Beatles. The iconic band split in 1970 when Paul announced he was leaving. However, tensions had started to rise long before Paul's departure, and they lasted long after the split. After launching solo careers, Paul and John decided to hit out at one another through their music. John started the bitter war with his track How Do You Sleep, before Paul hit back with Too Many People. Author Ian Leslie, who wrote a book about the music icons, has suggested their feud through songs was due to unresolved emotions. Speaking exclusively to the Mirror US, he shared, "These guys expressed their emotions and their feelings through songs, and they communicated their emotions through songs. And that's partly why the songs are so powerful, because we can sense those emotions, we feel them ourselves." Leslie continued, "When they split up, they kept doing that." Of course, they were no longer with each other all the time, so they were not arguing face to face. So what do they do when they want to communicate with each other, which they still did? They have to do it through songs. That's the way they know. When I feel angry or annoyed, that's an emotion you can feel like with somebody. Well, I'll put it into a song. The experts suggested the back and forth in the songs was like dialogue at a distance. Leslie also provided insight into why the songs were so vicious. They were both annoyed and dismayed and angry with each other. They kind of each blamed each other for the way it came apart. And so it comes out in the songs. While John and Paul spent several years acting hostile towards one another, they did reconcile. Leslie said they sat down with each other and said, "Look, we've got to stop slighting each other with songs." And McCartney does it in music. There's a song called Dear Friend where he kind of says, "Let's just be careful now because we're in danger of just ending our friendship altogether."
Dear friend, what's the...
But yeah, they actually have a conversation, and they say, "Let's kind of stop arguing." And then they spent the rest of the 70s just trying to reestablish their old friendship. The author suggested John and Paul were both emotionally intense, something which initially attracted them to each other. He revealed when they met, they were teenagers, both of them very emotionally intense, and both of them had had difficult childhoods in different ways, but in one particular way. They both lost their mothers at a young age. He added, and of course they both loved this new American music called rock and roll, and the music became a way for them to channel these otherwise overwhelmingly strong feelings of pain and loneliness and joy as well. Because they grew up in an era where you didn't talk about your feelings much. Leslie continued, "Lucky for them and lucky for us, they found a way to express those feelings in songs. And so the songs that they write together and perform together are really full of their emotions and feelings."